Welcome back, coin collectors and history enthusiasts. Today, we're diving deep into one of the fascinating treasures of American numismatics, the 1950 D Liberty 1-cent wheat penny. At first glance, it may just look like another small copper coin from mid-20th century America, but don't let its simple appearance fool you. This coin carries with it an amazing history, intriguing errors, and in rare conditions, an astronomical market value that can begin at $300,000 and soar even higher, making it one of the most talked about pennies among collectors. Let's begin with a little history. The 1950 D penny was minted in Denver during the golden era of the wheat cent series, which ran from 1909 until 1958. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this series proudly displays President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, symbolizing leadership, liberty, and resilience. On the reverse, we see the iconic wheat stalks flanking the words 1 cent, representing America's agricultural strength. By 1950, the U.S. Mint was striking millions of these coins, and the Denver Mint alone produced over 334 million wheat pennies that year. With such a high mintage, you might think these coins are too common to be valuable. But that's where the story gets interesting. The real magic of the 1950 D wheat penny lies in its errors, varieties, and condition rarity. Some examples have repunched mint marks, RPM, where the D from Denver was struck more than once, creating a visible doubling effect. Others have subtle die cracks, lamination errors, or striking issues that make them highly collectible. For everyday circulated coins, these pennies might only fetch a modest amount, often between 10 cents to a few dollars. But for rare high-grade examples in pristine condition, the value skyrockets. Now here's the jaw-dropping part. Certain specimens of the 1950 D Liberty 1-cent wheat penny in extraordinary mint state condition, with brilliant red luster and virtually no contact marks, have been valued in the market at hundreds of thousands of dollars. Reports claim some rare pieces are worth at least $0.30 million, $300,000, and can climb well beyond that depending on the auction and collector demand. That means a coin you might easily overlook in your change could actually be hiding life-changing wealth. Why is it so valuable? The answer lies in a combination of scarcity in high grades, error varieties, and the passion of collectors who compete fiercely for the best examples. Numismatics is not just about metal. It's about history, rarity, and the thrill of owning a piece of America's past that very few people can ever possess in such fine quality. So what should you look for if you come across a 1950 D wheat penny? Pay attention to the condition. Is it bright red and sharply struck? Look for errors like repunched mint marks or doubling. And most importantly, if you believe you've found a gem, get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. A coin certified in high mint state condition can transform a simple penny into a fortune. Today, the current market value of circulated 1950 D pennies ranges from a few cents up to about $10 or $15 for better preserved ones. But the rare high-grade mint state coins, especially those with brilliant red color, can fetch $20,000 to $40,000 easily, and the ultra-rare finest examples can reach $300,000 or more, putting them in the league of the most valuable U.S. pennies ever discovered. So, the next time you're sorting through old change, inherited coin jars, or flea market finds, don't ignore the wheat pennies, because hidden among them just might be a 1950 D Liberty 1-cent wheat penny worth a small fortune. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most fascinating pennies, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin history and value breakdowns. Who knows? The next coin we cover could be the one sitting right in your collection, waiting to change your life. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating story of one of the most talked about and highly sought-after coins in the world of numismatics, the 1952 D Liberty 1-cent wheat penny. At first glance, it might just look like a common wheat cent, the kind many of us have seen in old coin jars or inherited collections. But hidden within its history, minting details, and rare varieties, lies a story of incredible value, with some estimates placing the worth of unique examples starting from an astonishing $0.30 million or $300,000, and in certain cases, claims of even higher valuations depending on rarity, condition, and error types. Let's start with the history. The wheat penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The design, by Victor David Brenner, featured Lincoln's profile on the obverse and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity. By the year 1952, America was post-World War II and well into the baby boom era. Coins were being produced in large quantities to keep up with economic growth. The Denver Mint, represented by the D Mint mark, struck over 746 million wheat pennies in 1952. Because of this high mintage, most circulated 1952 D cents are quite common. However, as with many coins, the story changes dramatically when you factor in condition, mint errors, and rarity of surviving pristine examples. Now let's talk about what makes the 1952 D Liberty 1-cent wheat penny potentially worth big money. While millions were struck, only a fraction survived in near-perfect condition. Coins graded at the highest levels by PCGS or NGC, particularly those with a brilliant uncirculated shine and sharp strike, can command enormous prices at auctions. But what really propels certain examples into the realm of extraordinary value are minting errors and varieties. Collectors hunt for double dies, repunched mint marks, RPMs, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and other anomalies. In fact, some varieties of the 1952 D with dramatic repunched mint marks are extremely desirable, with collectors paying thousands. Combine these features with high-grade condition, and suddenly you have a coin that stands far apart from the rest. The market has seen record-breaking results for Lincoln cents in general. To give context, rare wheat pennies such as the 1943 copper cent or the 1955 double die have sold for hundreds of thousands, even over $1 million in some cases. That sets the stage for why a 1952 D in the right condition with the right error or variety is now talked about with valuations starting from around $0.30 million and potentially climbing higher depending on auction demand and collector interest. It's important to note that not every 1952 D penny will fetch that kind of money, but certain examples in pristine red gem condition or featuring rare mint mark anomalies can be life-changing finds. So what is the current market value of a 1952 D Liberty 1-cent wheat penny? In everyday circulated condition, you might expect to find it worth just a few cents to $1 or $2. In higher uncirculated grades, such as MS65 red, prices range from $50 to $150 depending on the grading service. But the extraordinary values, those claimed to start from $300,000 and beyond, are tied to coins with unique characteristics. Perhaps a one-of-a-kind strike, a dramatic error, or a legendary collector provenance. Some experts and collectors believe there are examples in private hands that could, if sold publicly, break auction records. To sum it up, the 1952 D wheat penny represents more than just a cent. It's a window into American history, a reminder of how tiny minting details can transform ordinary coins into extraordinary treasures, and a symbol of how passionate the numismatic community is about the hunt for rarity. If you happen to come across a 1952 D penny in excellent condition, especially one with visible errors or unusual features, it might be worth getting it professionally graded and authenticated, because you could be holding a coin worth far more than you ever imagined. And that's the incredible story of the 1952 D Liberty 1-cent wheat penny, a small coin with the potential for truly big money.